Help! I'm having trouble completing the first draft of my book. What's wrong with me? Hi, I'm Beth Anne Campbell, and I share my life as an author, podcaster, bare bones, blunt, and no BS. Not long ago, I posted a video about one of the big reasons that people have trouble finishing their first draft of their book or their novel. And that was because they are seeking perfection. So they're trying to make chapter one perfect before they move on. And my advice in that video, which I will link below, it was to just word vomit, just get your draft out there. But there are other reasons why people struggle to complete their first drafts. And another big one is lack of motivation. So you'll hear people say this, like, I'm just not motivated or inspired. Sometimes they'll even call it writer's block, although I don't think it's exactly the same as true writer's block. But it just means that they're not inspired or motivated to just sit down and write. And here's the ugly truth. Sometimes, in fact, a lot of times, you're just not going to be motivated, and you have to turn to discipline to get those words on paper. So this is something that I struggled with when I was writing my first book, Where the Hell is My Bacon? And it took me almost 3 years to write the first 3 chapters. And part of that was the pursuit of perfection, which I eventually abandoned and just word vomited my stuff on paper. But part of it was I just did not have the, quote, motivation to sit down and write consistently. So one day I was listening to an audiobook called Talking as Fast as I Can by actress Lauren Graham. Now you may remember Lauren Graham from The Gilmore Girls. She's Lorelai Gilmore. And she was talking in this book about her struggles with consistency and being motivated. So she adopted the what I think is referred to as the Pomodoro method. It means setting a timer and sitting down or doing whatever it is that you think that you need to be doing, and you do it for that period of time regardless. So with me, even if I wasn't, quote, inspired, or maybe I was having a little bit of writer's block, I would set my timer and I would write. It didn't matter if I was writing in my book, maybe I was writing a social media post, maybe I was writing a journal, maybe I was blogging, maybe I was doing some gratitude journaling. It didn't matter. That was my writing time, and I needed to get consistent every day about sitting down and putting words on paper. About 6 months later, I had finished the book and I was in editing and soon published after that. So motivation is something that is fleeting, right? And I really do believe that when you start taking action in this form of discipline, meaning set a timer, get your butt in chair or in couch or however you write, and just do it for a period of time every day at the same time, or at least consistently, the motivation will come. And then the motivation will come much quicker than if you're waiting for motivation to and inspiration to sit down and actually finish your book. So try it, even if it's just for 15 minutes a day, but you need to get your brain trained into that mode of writing. And you'll be surprised at how quickly the motivation comes, and then you'll be able to finish your first draft of your book and be on your way to publishing. So for those of you out there who are struggling with finishing your first draft of your book, does this ring true to you? If not, maybe go check out the other video about perfection. But let me know how it's going with your book in the comments. And meanwhile, happy writing.